Hello everybody, it's Hammy Pro here. Welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Modern Warfare Remastered, which I'm super excited for. Now, if you've been following my channel for years, you probably know that I am obsessed with Modern Warfare. I played it a few years after it came out, but it was the first multiplayer game I ever played besides like online stuff, and it was probably the only video game I played for like 2 or so years. It's the kind of thing where when you're like young and you just like only have one video game and you just like learn everything about it. I played it like around the time Modern Warfare 2 was coming out, just to put in perspective. But while everyone else was all over playing all these new Call of Duty games and stuff, all I knew about was this one. And fun fact, I was only playing it on the Wii until eventually I got on PS3 once I got my first like console, I guess. I mean, the Wii's a console, but it's a different story, right? And then I didn't really play that much on it because once I got that, I started getting into games that were popular then, because then I could play games like Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops and stuff like that. I never really got into it too much. It's the kind of game where I played at my friend's house, but I would never sit down for hours and play. But Call of Duty 4 it was like that. So just for that context, just thought I'd tell you about my thoughts on the remastered, since I am a bit of a purist in terms of change for that game, because even though I accept that there's a lot of flaws in it, like replaying it recently, there's a lot of crap that I don't like too much, like the attack helicopter is just like useless. However, the big idea is nostalgia. And I mean, so now I'm going to get into it, because there's two schools of thought with this remaster. One is that it's the people who played it a lot back then, like me, and they're like, oh, everything has to be the same. You can make graphical upgrades, stuff like that, but just kind of keep it the way it is, copy and paste it. Obviously, people aren't strictly on either side, like some people, for different aspects of the game, they want to change stuff like that, but overall there's that crowd. Then there's people who, I think most of them haven't played Modern Warfare at least the same way that the people who are purists did, or a lot of them maybe never played it at all, and they basically are saying I'm getting advanced war, or not advanced war, but see, I haven't even played the last like 3 Call of Duty games. What's it called? Infinite Warfare. They're like, Infinite Warfare is a game and I'm paying for the special edition or whatever you have to get the remaster, and I want the game to be the best it is. And then they're gonna say yeah, and then they support all these icon changes and improvements and bug fixes and stuff like that, and maybe they want to innovate, I don't really know. And I'm leaning towards the purist side, simply because the issues that are keeping me from playing Modern Warfare today, which I do play, but it's not as enjoyable because, first of all, my Wii broke. I don't really play on the console anymore, I just play on the PC. And if you ever played Modern Warfare on the PC, it's a lot of hackers, and it seems like all the servers are like modded, like they have like 80 players on a map that's meant for 20 or 15, I don't know, I don't even remember the player counts, and it has like high jump and all this stuff. And I'm just the big thing I'm looking forward to is kind of regulation. And as much as I enjoy having these mods for Modern Warfare, like there's a reason people make them, eventually games get boring. However, for a lot of people like me who haven't necessarily played it in a while, having it kind of regulated, having mods, having dedicated servers, hopefully, stuff like that, for me, that's probably the biggest thing. Now, of course, there's things like it'll bring in a whole new player base. And if you actually went to the server browser for COD 4 in the PC, I'm actually really happy because there's so many people playing it now. Of course, the downside, like I said, half of them are hackers and whatever. So there's that, happy that they're going to be taking away bugs. And with that idea, I want them to keep everything the same, just improve, things, right? Like the servers and stuff like that. anti-hacking because punk busters like doesn't work and stuff like that. If you're on the console, I don't think you'd have as much of a problem with that, although obviously hackers exist on every system. It's just kind of easiest on PC because of several things. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I love to be corrected. I just love it. Anyway, so there's that. And then, you know, all this drama about headshot icons and the gun sound, stuff like that. I'm kind of torn. Like, I personally did not see the issue with having a new headshot symbol. However, if a lot of people want it, I'm not going to complain. Like, I know some people are saying, stop bitching about it. But to be fair, like, for some people, they just want to copy and paste. And if you don't, and you just want a new Call of Duty game, you're already going to get Infinite Warfare. So, on one hand, I think if there's something that purists really want, just kind of give us a little bit at least, you know? Like, I didn't really see too big of an issue with the headshot symbol, but, you know, White Boy 7 and them have good arguments as to why they want it. And honestly, it's subjective, but they changed it. And then there's the gun sound thing. And this thing I am torn about. Because, like, if you play CSGO, relatively recently they added an update which changed the gun sounds, and it really, I mean, eventually you get used to it, but at first it's really cool, you know, really sounds more realistic and stuff like that. But then again, if we're gonna go on the nostalgia train, I don't want them to change the gun sounds too much. Again, I understand that, like, they can be improved and stuff, but I personally would prefer if they kept it that way. And if I were the developer, and this is a really scummy thing to do, sort of, but like, I'd make it so it comes with the improved gun sounds or whatever. And then you can pay money, like a DLC, right, to get the old school gun sounds. Which I understand as a gamer, that's the worst thing ever. Well, not the worst, but you know, it kind of sucks because too much DLC is never great, with exceptions, but with Activision we know DLC is never too good because it's kind of like crappy maps. But that's an idea, so you kind of get best of both worlds, but I'm not calling for anything. Like, I just think keep the gun sounds the same. Maybe some weapons you can improve them or have them in higher definition, which is obviously another big part of the game, just improving the graphics, which I think is just fine. As long as if you don't, like, you know, make it run like shit on like normal computers, but I don't think that'll be an issue. But honestly, you know, just keep the gun sounds the same, dude. Like, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. No one ever complained about the gun sounds. Again, the other argument would be it's remastered, they're trying to update everything, but I don't know, for the sake of nostalgia, if it were to be like a game like Modern Warfare 2 or Call of Duty 2 where there is nostalgia but it's not necessarily about the little things like that I mean, I'm just speaking from my experience. I know some people who played Call of Duty 2 and have nostalgia about it, which I don't, you know, might have a different idea, but with that, I can understand changing the gun sounds. But for me, I'd just rather keep it the way it is, move on. The only thing I feel too strongly about is announcers. I think they should keep it the same. Maybe you can, I don't even think you should re-record. I think if you can, somehow make it higher quality. However, keep the actors, you know. I mean, I don't know if the actors are still around or whatever, but I don't want you to change it, because that for me is like the biggest thing, you know. Like where they say, let's do this Marines or UAVs online, stuff like that. It's cool, you know. I mean, it's a kind of thing where if you hear it so much, it really reminds you of the time when you're playing it, which is when I was younger and stuff. So I think if you change it, that's gonna be a big downside. I mean, again, I understand if you're not blinded by nostalgia, then you're gonna say, hey, that's retarded, you can up, the new ones are cool, stuff like that. But for me, this is the kind of thing where it's okay to be blinded by nostalgia. When Oblivion fans are complaining about Skyrim, that is sort of being blinded by nostalgia. However, this is a remake. The purpose of this the whole reason people want to get it is because of A, it's a good game, you know. Call of Duty 4, a lot of people consider it to be the best Call of Duty game, and I would agree. And also just for nostalgia trip and making it accessible so that it's updated without hackers. And that's my thoughts. I'm happy that they added like every map. I checked. I might be wrong. And actually, if I'm wrong about this, comment. But the only maps they left out were like ones that are from DLC and like Crash Winter, which doesn't really make that much sense to me. But yeah. Anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe and comment your opinion on this. Feel free to disagree because honestly, I'm not an authority in the Call of Duty scene. I stopped playing years ago, but I'm hoping to start. I'm hoping Infinite Warfare is going to be good, but I'm getting it because of the remastered game. Anyway, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.